All right, hello everybody. Welcome to my indie outlook. We're going to go ahead and just be talking today about indie games. We're going to be talking about YouTube. We're going to be talking about whatever. I'm just going to basically be messing around, talking to you guys, live streaming, be playing a few indie games, scoring a few indie games that I've gotten recently. I don't know how long this stream's going to go, but we're going to find out. We're just going to have fun. We're going to find out if some games are good or if they're not good. We're going to play at least 2 or 3 indie games tonight on this live stream. And right now, we're going to take a look at a video that Mellow Online, my buddy, shared with me on how to find your hidden score on YouTube or something. I don't know. Let's take a look at this video, guys, see what it's about. It's something about how to find out, why I guess maybe I'm not getting as many views as I think on YouTube or whatever. I guess it's how to find your hidden algorithm score. So I don't know anything about this video. I haven't seen it. Let's check this out together and see what it's about.
Viewers and creators have been talking about more and more and more over the past couple years, because whether we like it or not, this completely unknown and mysterious set of code has a large grasp on whether our videos get views or not.
Okay.
We're at the complete mercy of an algorithm that we know nothing about. But recently we've had a breakthrough in information regarding this algorithm. We've almost completely cracked the code.
Interesting.
Recently, with the help of Nicholas Diorio, Optimus, and Josh Pescator, I was able to dig up information on not only which channels are favored over others to get their videos promoted through a value called P-score, but I was also able to uncover hidden ratings on individual videos, and whether or not a video is being suppressed by the algorithm due to limited ads.
Oh, wow.
First, let's talk about P-score, because that's actually something that YouTube has shared with us on a video with 8,000 views on their YouTube advertisers channel. I'll let YouTube explain this one for me.
P-score is a more advanced proprietary algorithm designed to deliver robust channel selection improvements via an array of these 5 sophisticated signals. Popularity is driven by watch time, a proprietary metric that reveals repeat engaged viewership. Passion is based on how engaged an audience is with a channel. It uses several different kinds of signals to understand how often users interact with content. Protection continues to focus on content suitability by combining our latest classifiers with an added layer of validation, so that P-score outputs are working for your brand. Platform highlights content that's more frequently watched on large screens, such as TV screens, by a rapidly growing audience of empowered viewers. Production includes content that employs sophisticated camera work and cinematic technique, and since we can access a multitude of proprietary signals that no third parties can, P-score is also proprietary. Popularity, passion, protection, platform, and production, all proprietary signals combined to surface among the most engaging and brand-appropriate content on YouTube across music, beauty and fashion, video gaming, and other key categories. And the P-score is updated regularly. So if there's a new star or breakthrough talent that meets brand suitability and other requirements, the P-score will automatically include them as part of Google Preferred the next time content is refreshed, for your brand to stay relevant with audience interests and behavior.
So yes, P-score is...
P-score, that's probably... I probably have a low P-score. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny with my latest game on Steam, Prison Ball. Your character was rated on a P size, which stood for paddle size, and now we got a P score. Your content on YouTube is rated on your P score, not paddle size or P size, as in my last Prison Ball game, but now P score. So many P things: P size, P score, P. Oh my god! All right, let's continue.
An amalgamation of these 5 characteristics that are used to determine a score for your channel, and based off your channel's score, that is how you will be promoted in the algorithm, since being promoted in the algorithm is directly correlated to the type of ads you get on your videos, which is directly affected by how high your P-score is. Think about it. What type of videos would YouTube want to promote in order to make the most money? Videos that have the most premium ads on them. And how do they determine which channels get those premium ads? It's based on P-score. This is why the system exists. So normally you can't even see your P-score on your channel anywhere. Not in the YouTube analytics page, just nowhere.
Nope.
But through the code of YouTube, we have actually been able to find a way to see every channel's P-score. And
Really?
the method to do this is actually relatively simple. You guys could do it as well right now. All you have to do is right-click on any video, click on View Page Source, then press Ctrl F and type in Channel P. Next
Really?
to that, you will see a number usually between 200 and 1000. How do we know most channels are within this range? Well, me and Nicholas Diorio went through over 200 channels and got the P-score of every single one of them. Here's a couple things we've learned. First off, channel P-scores are based on region. So your channel could have a completely different P-score depending on what country the viewer is watching in. For example, my P-score in the US is 698, but in Canada, it's only 675. Usually the difference between Canada and US, which are the only two regions we personally looked at, is that Canada is about 20 to 30 lower, although there's a couple outliers. For example, the NHL has a much higher score in Canada, presumably because hockey is more popular in Canada, so Canadian advertisers are more inclined to promote on a channel like that over the US advertisers. People with 0 to 1,000 subs generally have a P-score of around 200 to 300. Channels with P-scores of 400 or 500 are usually around the 10k mark, and then channels with a P-score of 600 to 700 usually have about 100,000 subscribers. Channels with a million to 10 million are typically within 800, but some channels we've seen are in the high 700s. And then channels with a 900 plus P-score are usually channels with over 10 million subscribers like PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, Markiplier, stuff like that. And then channels with 1000 P-score are what you would expect, basically YouTube's golden boys, late night talk show hosts like Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, news channels like CBC, Fox, BBC, CNN, and then for some reason, Will Smith has over 1,000. We all know how much YouTube likes Will Smith, so no surprise there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Channels
so
with a million to 10 million subs generally have a P-score of around 200 to 300. Channels with P-scores of 400 or 500 are usually around the 10k mark, and then channels with a P-score of 600 to 700 usually have about 100,000 subscribers.
okay, so 4 to 500 is what they're saying. Let's go ahead and check that out. See if we can find out, like what my P-score is on one of my videos. So let's just go ahead and check out. This one's got a few more views. So let's just go ahead and check out this one here, and let's see what my P-score is based on how they're saying it. This will be interesting. So right click, and then they said what? What the hell were we looking at? Page source, page information, I think it said. No, not page information. Oops. I don't know. I've never done this. Okay, so let's close out of that. It was inspect element, maybe. And then he said hit Control F. And what did he say to do? Hang on. Hang on, man. Alright.
This is why the system exists. On in the YouTube analytics page, just nowhere. The channel you have to do is right click on any video, click on View Page Source, then press Ctrl F and type in Channel P.
Okay, page source. Not this. Okay. Not that. You gotta click on the name down here. Page source. Control F. And then what did you say to type?
Next to that, you will see a number usually between 2 on View Page Source, then press Ctrl F and type in Channel P.
Channel P. Okay. Control F is down here. Channel P. Alright, we got it right here, guys. We just got to scroll over a little bit. Where did it go? Damn it. Okay, so channel P score is 541. So it probably doesn't matter what video I do. So I got a score of 541. Interesting. That's pretty cool. All right, so if we go back and let's go back to my YouTube page, which is okay. So let's go to another video and see if it's still the 541. So like this one, which doesn't have as many views. It's still going to be a channel score, right? So it's going to be the same one, 541, I do believe. Control F, channel P, bam, it's right here. And if we scroll this way, yeah, 541. So let's take a look at my buddy Rhodes' score then. Road 85, who I believe he only has 1,200 subscribers or something. Yeah, 1,200 subscribers. So we take a look at one of his recent videos, and we right-click on it, and we go to page source, and we hit Control F, channel P, and we scroll over and look at his, 392. So it derives, through their formula, it derives a score based on, a lot of it's probably going to be on how many subscribers they have, but all the different variables that they were talking about. So my score with 16,000 subscribers is at 541. Rhodes got a score of 392. Not bad. And if we go back from that, and let's just take a look at Dear Gamer. I think Dear Gamer is around 100,000 subscribers or more. Okay, 65,000. So let's take a look at one of his videos. He's doing a live stream right now. Let's just take a look at this one. And we right-click, we hit page source, Control F, channel P, and we scroll over, 649. So about 100 more than me with. He has 65,000. He has like 4 times as many subscribers, but really only about 100 more on a score. But it's going to mean that he gets more money per ad that's viewed on his channel. Okay. Very interesting. That's cool. I mean, that's good to know. That's good to know how you get that P score, if you would. So anyway, let's continue watching the video.
Next to that, you BBC, CNN, no surprise there.
Yeah.
Generally, your P score is higher for the country you cater to. Like, for example, if you make content in German, your P score is going to be much higher in Germany than it is in a non-German speaking country. So in the description of YouTube's P score video, they say that people within the top 5% of P score are the one to get YouTube preferred premium ads. Based on what we found in the YouTube code, 800 P score is the threshold in order to get into the YouTube preferred ads. This is a program that a lot of people have been talking about. If you remember back in 2017, when Logan Paul got into controversy, it was talked about that he was taken out of Google preferred ads, so you may have heard of it there. Getting YouTube preferred ads is a monumental boost in how well your channel will do, both view-wise and monetarily. People have talked about it doubling their CPMs, and of course YouTube would want to push channels with more premium ads on them, so you get a boost in the algorithm itself.
Okay.
It's why you see channels with around 1 million subs more often in your feed than channels with under 1 million subs, because channels with under 1 million subs usually don't have Google preferred ads, and channels with over 1 million subs usually do, although this isn't based on the sub count, it's based on the P score, which the sub count does influence, but there's obviously the other factors that we talked about earlier. The most divisive of these factors is protection, which a lot of people have been talking about as of late. It's basically what you can say in your video in order to have it more suitable to children or teenagers or adults. It's why you see so many people in their videos now censor out swear words and talk about not being able to do things because they want to appease to the algorithm. During our research, we discovered not only what your channel's P score is, but also what your channel video rating is, which is what YouTube uses to determine what types of ads go on your video and whether it gets demonetized or not, based on the type of stuff that is said within the video. You can search this up by using the same method as searching up P score. Just right click on any video, go to view page source, and then use Control F to search up content L, and next to it you will see DV_G or PG or teen or MA or X, depending on the rating of your video. Through our research, I can tell you that majority of videos on YouTube are rated either PG or teen. Channels that are rated G are usually stuff like Ryan's Toy Reviews, stuff that adults would never want to watch, that is 100% family friendly and brand safe. Channels that tend to censor out swear words and would be good for either adults or children to watch. Channels like Arlo, who is a Nintendo channel who doesn't swear and is very family friendly, will have the video rating PG. And then channels that are a little more edgy and geared towards adults, like my videos for example, will typically be rated teen. There's very few videos that I've seen that are rated MA or X. I feel like you have to go way out of your way to make yourself an adult content creator in order to get these labels. Typically, without trying, your video will probably land between PG and teen, which both ratings will have the video brand say.
Let's take a look at that again.
Through our research,
Control L. Control L. Let's find out what my rating is. I'm sure it's going to be rated teen or whatever he said. But let's take a look. Okay, page source, and then Control F, and then is it channel L, right? I think that's what he said. Is that what he said? Let me take a look.
Or G or PG or teen or L. And next to it you will see D using the same method as searching up P-score. Just right click on any video, go to view page source, and then use Control F to search up content L. And next to it you will see
content L, okay. Not channel L. Content L, here we go. What am I? Teen, yep, PV teen, okay. So it's right before your P-score, basically. Yeah, here's my P-score. Here's my rating, teen. Okay.
See DV on the rating of your video and brand safe. Will have the video rate typically be rated teen. There's very few videos that I've seen that are rated adult content creator in order to get these labels. Typically, without trying, your video will probably land between PG and teen, which both ratings, through our research, seem to throttle your videos in the algorithm and give it a higher chance to get tagged demonetization. You know how everyone's complaining, regardless of the type of content they make, that their videos are getting tagged as demonetized or limited ads? It's because their videos are getting tagged as PG or teen. And majority of videos on YouTube, regardless of what content is in them, is just unfortunately going to be rated one of these ratings. Usually you can get your videos turned back to fully monetized and green through the manual review process, but obviously the downside to that is that it takes a while to get through the manual review process and you can't release your video right away, or you just release your video while it's under review and then the first day of your video being out is just throttled by YouTube directly, as you can see in this code. It's just an unfortunate reality. At this point, I don't even see much reason to even go out of your way to censor swear words and stuff, because YouTube is just gonna rate you PG. Through documenting over 200 channels with Nicholas Diorio, and getting the P-scores for each one while glancing at the video rating at the same time, across many different types of content and many different types of channels, the only ones that I've seen rated G are videos that are catered to extremely young children, like Ryan Toy Reviews, or Blippi. Everything else, Minecraft videos, other content that you would think is appropriate for all audiences, just gets rated PG. So that's all we've found out so far, but no doubt that there's more to discover and connect the dots with in regards to this new information. If you guys want to check out all the research for yourself, there will be links in the description below to the over 200 channels that me and Nicholas Diorio got P-scores from, a document written by the YouTuber Optimus describing what I said in this video and more, and an article regarding this situation on medium.com written by Chris Stokel-Walker. Also, huge thanks to Josh Pescator, who helped us out with this entire process. The link to his Twitter and
That's
YouTube
cool.
will also be
Well,
in
thanks
the
for
description.
that, sharing that video with me. They're mellow. You definitely insightful. I like that. That was cool. So we know that my score is based on a profane. This looks like my kind of game. This is a Bullet Hell. Bullet Hell Shoot 'em Up. When did this come out? It came out 4 days ago? Have I not requested this game? My keys. That looks like totally my type of game, even though I already have over 100 keys. Let's see if we can request Profane 2 if we haven't already. Nope, I haven't requested it yet. Didn't even know about it. So guys, what we're going to do, this looks like a cool little game. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hope we get that. And the first game I want to look at, guys, is a game I looked at yesterday. I want to go ahead and re-review this game. I want to show you guys this game. It's a game that came out yesterday. I want to go ahead and give it another review, give it a second look. It doesn't have, I don't think it has any reviews yet. No, it doesn't. It's a game that's $1.99 on Steam, and it's on sale 40% off its first week. It is Gino Di Piero's first game on Steam, from the looks of it. And I already played a little bit of this game. It's a pretty fun little game. However, it does have problems that I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, my suggestions for this problem and how I think the developer can spend 10 or 15 minutes in the game and definitely increase my score. But let's go ahead and launch Space Base. Definitely my type of game, a game where robot squids want to destroy the Earth, but you get into their base, their secret base, and you're able to use rotation and acceleration physics to take aim and shoot them and try to take them out. It's not as easy as it sounds, it says. And there's only two colors in the game, dark and light green. And we're going to go ahead and show you this game right now. And this is Space Base. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, guys. Show you guys what's up with Space Base here. All right. Give me just a minute, guys. All right, so when we go to settings, guys, we do have the ability to change the audio here. We're going to do that right away because one thing that I also don't like is I played this game just yesterday and I set the audio down to low. And now I see that the audio has... Oh no, it is down to low. Okay, never mind. I thought it was I thought it had moved down to let's go ahead and make sure it is on low there. We're gonna go ahead and hit space here. Space is your selection button, not enter, by the way. And then we're gonna go ahead and hit escape to go back. And give me just a minute. I want you guys to hear these sound effects. So okay. Damn it, man. Alright. We'll get this started here in a second. I don't know who's in the stream, but welcome to the stream, whoever's watching. So if we look at Space Base here, guys, robot squids want to destroy the world, but Jack Diamond's discovered their plan. That's not spelled correctly. They want to put a nuke at the center of the Earth, but Jack knows where their base is. Your mission is to fly Jack's ship inside Squid's base, destroy them all, and defeat the big squid boss. Okay, so the problem with this game, guys, is in the controls, it just shows you how to rotate with left and right arrow, up to sprint forward, space to shoot, and that's pretty much it. So my problem with the game is it doesn't allow you to use WASD, and I talked about this before yesterday. Oops. I just think this would be a lot easier. There's a lot of WASD gamers out there that use, that are used to the WASD keys, and I find it unfortunate that, the rotation is also really slow on this ship. Like, look how slow you rotate. So the rotation could be a little bit faster. I think they should have a power-up that would give you a faster rotation. Something would be nice. You can use your shields, which do have a cooldown. You can kind of see it at the top. You have your X's. If I use my shield right there, you see it takes a second before the X's reappear, and I can use it again. Just kind of like that. When you thrust forward, you don't just move faster. You actually kind of jump ahead, which is kind of cool, I guess. Oops. I had a couple of different problems with this game, however. Oops. One of the problems that I had with the game is that sometimes when you hit these enemy ships, the bullet will go right through them, and it won't hit them. So sometimes the collision detection is a little bit off. It's a pretty fun little game, to be honest with you. I just wish he had WASD support. I think that putting a game like this out and requiring the user to use the arrow keys, I mean, obviously the optimal thing would be to allow the user to define their own keyboards, their own keys. But if not, you should at least allow users to use the WASD keys instead of the arrow keys. That is a big complaint that I had. There we go. So I've scored 7 points. You basically get 1 point for every one of these things you kill. It's a fun little game. I mean, it's more fun than it looks like, and this is just another game that goes to prove that, graphics don't make the game. You can have a great little game that's a lot of fun. Oops, I only have 1 health left. I think I'm probably screwed here. But you can have a lot of fun with a game that doesn't have, optimal graphics like this. So notice there my score is 12. It was 10 just a minute ago, and I haven't shot anybody. So if these guys shoot themselves, then you score points, which is kind of cool, I guess. Oops. Oh, and game over. So once you lose your life at the top, the little X's, your health runs down all the way, your game's over. There's no extra ships or anything like that. And then it gives you a high score. So one problem with this game is I think my high score yesterday was like 35 or something like that. Now it's saying the highest score is 13. So it only keeps track of the highest score during any play session. So it doesn't upload the high score to Steam. That would be something that I would definitely recommend to the developer. You should be able to, why not have a high score list on Steam? I know the game's only a $2 game, regular price, but to me, there's no reason that you wouldn't have WASD support. Allow a player to use WASD, and then I don't know, why you wouldn't upload the scores to Steam. Something that could be really simple. I mean, obviously, adding stuff like controller support would be nice as well. Oops. See, I've already lost a health. Oh, I tried to hit my shields, but these enemies are good at putting their shields on just in time. I mean, they're automated, so of course, right? And they're good at moving out of the way, too. Oh. And if you practice, you'll be as good as the enemies here that you face. See how he put on his shield right there at the right time? Right at the split second, right before my bullet hit him, he put on his shield. Damn guy. There we go. Alright. But, I mean, there's fun to be had in this little game. I mean, you can't knock this little game. It's pretty fun, to be honest with you. I just wish it had WASD keys, and I wish that... another thing that I wish is, I know it's a retro game with retro graphics, but in my opinion, there's no reason to have these sound effects that are like blips and beeps, because I find those really fucking annoying, to be honest with you, especially in the year 2019. Even though you have retro graphics, you don't have to match the simplistic retro graphics with super simplistic, really annoying sounds. You can get cleaner, sounds that sound a lot better nowadays, I think. And there's no reason to use these annoying sounds when you could be using just sounds that are a lot less annoying, in my opinion. But, hey, Road, how you doing, man? So there's a couple of suggestions for the developer. I've done enough coding on these simple games to know that usually tying in WASD keys instead of requiring the user to use arrow keys is simply just adding in, instead of up arrow could be the W key. Why not allow the user to use either one? Allow the user to use either WASD or the arrow keys. Don't force the user to use the arrow keys. Essentially, I mean, ultimately, you would want to allow the user to, like I say, define their own keys. But at least add WASD support. That will take less than 5 minutes. I don't care what language you program this in. Add WASD support. Super simple fix. Less than 5 minutes to fix that. And I think you're going to have a lot higher scores and a lot more positive reviews from anybody that plays your game. I'm just saying. Or that was a near miss. But other than that, I mean, you gotta set the graphics don't bother me at all. The simplistic graphics are fine here, in my opinion. I just think that you need to add WASD support. Get rid of these old retro sounds. That's another opinion. I mean, that's up to you more than anything. But I just find these old simple sound effects super annoying. And that would be another suggestion. sometimes these bullets do go right through the... We haven't seen it yet in this video, but sometimes the bullets will go right through an enemy and not hurt it. It'll just go right through and keep on going. So your collision detection is a little bit off. And one thing I was telling the developer, you know, I was talking about the developer needs to do when I first played this game, is all he needs to do is take your bullets. Take your bullets, and your bullets are what, a 2x2 pixel or whatever. Take your bullets and make those like a 4x4 collision detection. If you increase the collision detection of your bullets to a bigger area, then your problem will be solved and you shouldn't have any more bullets going right through enemies. One thing that I found with coding my own games is, you know, players that play your game, especially in a, you know, you have to be careful if it's a multiplayer game. But when you're talking about the player fighting AI enemies, players are never going to have a problem if their bullet actually misses an enemy but hits it. Players are never going to have a problem with, like I said, with a bullet nearly missing an enemy but actually hitting it. They're going to be like, cool with that. But if a bullet goes right through an enemy and doesn't get a hit, that's when players are going to get really annoyed and frustrated. So all you have to do to the developer, this is again just how to fix your game, take that that bullet, that 2x2 pixel, and expand it with empty space and make a collision detection like a 4x4 area. Your problem will be eliminated. Another super simple fix in this game, and it's going to make this game a lot more enjoyable. So just a couple of suggestions there. Add WASD support. You know, add a bigger collision detection for the bullets here, and you're going to have a lot more enjoyable game for people that play your game. Obviously, doing things like adding controller support is going to help as well. A controller for a game of this type would probably be, you know, the optimal thing for players to play with. In a game like this, where there's a lot of chaos, a lot of enemies on the screen at one time, I'm sure a lot of players would enjoy using a controller for this type of a game as well. So that's a mine. I gotta watch that little X there. Oh, wow! We got 1 health left. But I mean, guys, for $1.99, it's a pretty simple little game. I hope the developer listens to me on at least adding WASD support, if not controller, and then expands that collision detection for the bullets. You never have any bullets that go right through an enemy. Just like we kind of saw there, that bullet went right through that guy's tentacles and just kept on moving, and I didn't get a hit. See, a player's never going to mind if that bullet hits, even though it actually should have missed. It's always going to feel better to the player to get that hit. They shouldn't have to hit the enemy right in the center to get a hit. If they hit it in the tentacle, it should be a score. I'm just saying. But if we rate this game, guys, on value, and kind of what I did yesterday, guys, 40 points, how much value is the player getting? $2 is the regular price on this game, and I usually ask for for me to think that the average player is going to get as many hours out of the game as they get, as they pay in dollars for the game. So you're asking at $2, you're asking that the average player is going to play this game for 2 hours. I don't think that's going to happen. I might get 2 hours out of it just because this is my type of a game. The average person that buys this game probably isn't going to play this game for 2 hours, even over the next 6 months. Out of 40 points, though, I do think it's a pretty good value. I think it's a pretty fun little game, especially if the developer goes in and adds WASD support, controller support, makes the the collision detection a little bit better. I think this could be a fun little game. So I'm going to go ahead and give this game a 32 out of 40. Next criteria is fun. How much fun is this game? Well, this is going to be the subjective part of my scoring. My fun may not be your fun type of a game, so this is going to be really subjective. But I think this is a pretty fun little game. I don't think it's obviously the most fun kind of game I could have, but graphics are certainly not important to me. It's really, I could care less about the graphics. It's just how much fun is the game to play. I think this game's a pretty fun little game, guys. Out of 30 points, I'm going to give this game 21. So we see I scored higher there. Next criteria is controls and bugs. This is where I'm going to hit this game on, controls and bugs, because you don't even have WASD support. You don't have the ability to, change your keybinds. You don't have controller support. So that kind of stuff is lacking. I'm going to take 5 points away for that. I'm also going to take 5 points away because sometimes the bullets, like I say, don't get the hits on the enemies when they actually hit. That's a big no-no. That's going to leave players frustrated, especially when they have this kind of chaos. If they get a hit, they need to get the hit. And even if they get a near miss, they should probably get a hit as well. So I'm going to take 5 points away from the controls and bugs as far as that, because I consider it a bug. Another thing that's sometimes a bug, guys, is right here. Sometimes you'll actually see, you don't see it right now, but sometimes you will see your player actually flashing into the wall, to the outside wall, and that's not exactly, you know, really good either. I'm going to give this game, I'm going to go ahead and give it, I'm not going to take points away for that. I'm just going to go ahead and give this game a 10 for controls and bugs. And then the last criteria is graphics and sound. How good are the graphics and sound? I think the graphics are fine for this type of a game. I don't really have any complaints with the graphics. Obviously, they're not gorgeous. But the sound effects are what really ticks me off in this game and what really I find annoying. So the sound, the retro sounds you've used, I find super annoying, and I'm going to hit this game hard on that one. And graphics and sound, guys, 2 out of 10, mostly scored low because the sound effects I find super fucking annoying. You can use a lot cleaner sound effects that I think most people are going to find a little less annoying. Just because you make a retro game doesn't mean you have to use annoying fucking sounds. You add that all up, guys. 32 plus 21 is 53. Again, 32 for value, 32 out of 40. 21 out of 30 for fun is 53. I said 10 for controls and bugs is 63. And then 2 out of 10 for graphics and sound is a 65. So 65% doesn't sound like a really good score, but it's not the worst possible score either. I think this game could be helped by, like I said, taking 10 minutes to add WASD support. Then, add that collision, make that collision boundary for your bullets. All you need to do is expand that collision area for your bullets to like a 4x4 pixel area. And I think you'll eliminate that problem as well. 2 simple fixes, 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to raise your score to a 75. That's also going to help increase your value and your fun as well. Because you're fixing a couple problems in the game, making the game more fun, making the game less frustrating. Do things like adding some cleaner sound effects. I don't think you need to do anything with the graphics. The graphics are fine. You could be up in the 80s with really probably another hour's worth of work on this game. Spend an hour, get this game up in the score of 80-something% for me, and I think you're going to get a lot happier customers that buy your game. So please don't leave it as it is. Please do it. Please take my suggestions to heart to the developer. Move your game from a 65 up into the 80s, 80, 84%, 85%, something like that. Spend an hour on your game, and you could definitely make it a lot better. So that's my score for Space Base, a game that just came out yesterday. 65% as it is right now. And I would definitely be cautious about buying this game if the developer doesn't want to spend, even a few minutes to make the game better. So that is this game, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at who else. Retro game, no retro sounds. Yeah, I just, if you listen to this music here, I just find that annoying. Like I said, just because you have retro graphics doesn't mean that you have to use annoying as fuck sounds. Some people may not mind these sound effects, but I find these sound effects right here, I find them like a lot of people find, taking your fingernails to a chalkboard. I just find them super fucking annoying. So, yeah, you could use sound. You could use fucking your fingernails or take a blade to a chalkboard and make that kind of a sound. Make a really annoying sound of a chalkboard screech. But why? Why use these super old, annoying fucking sounds in a game? Just because you have retro graphics doesn't mean you have to annoy the fuck out of people with your sound effects. Obviously, you can go into the settings and you can turn your sounds completely off. But I like to have some kind of sounds in my game. Maybe that's a suggestion for the developer. Go in, and if you want to keep your retro sounds, fine. But give the player a choice on having more modern sounds, more cleaner, less annoying sounds. Maybe that could be an option instead of just turning the sound effects off. But there you go, guys. 65% is my score on Space Base, a game that just came out yesterday. And we're going to go ahead and... I got a lot of background sound. Sorry, guys. Got dogs running in the background. I got Timber running in the background. Road, how you doing, man? How are you doing, dude? How was work, man? How was work, my man? Yeah, no WASD, dumb choice. Yeah, exactly. Like I can't, for the life of me, I don't know if he's in a different country or whatever, but to not have WASD as an option, just you like the player use both of them. Leave the arrow keys. I'm not saying take the arrow keys away. A lot of people, noobs, if you would, like to use the arrow keys. Like my daughter would probably try to use the arrow keys, and she never plays video games, But anybody who plays games today, by default, is gonna, put their finger on WASD. And it's kind of sad that this developer didn't put that much thought into the game. It just shows a complete lack of you know, planning, in my opinion, on the game. There's another game here, guys, and this one is called... It's hard to find, guys. This one is called Dot Fall. And if you put in Dot Fall here, it's a game that came out late last night. And I want to go ahead and show you this game as well, because it's pretty fucking cool. It seems like it's a little bit priced for the simplicity of the game. But if you search, I think it's like on the 3rd page or whatever, you'll find it. Yeah, it's right here. So this one's a $10 game. As you see, it came out late last night. It is the 29th today. It's an action game that jumps blocks so as not to fall down. Anyone can play with simple operation to enjoy it and try for the highest score in the world. So this game is a game I was looking at last night. I did buy the game. I didn't get a key from the developer because I don't think the developer didn't give me a key, or it's not available on Keymail or whatever. But you do have the ability to play with a local multiplayer as well. And for some reason, the gameplay video here doesn't look that impressive. But for whatever reason, I was just looking at this. Never quite played a game like this. But I was like, you know what? This looks like, for whatever reason, I got the feeling this is going to be a super fun game. And it is the developer's first game on Steam. And I believe it is a Chinese developer because when I first launched the game, all the menu options and everything like that was in Chinese. And I kind of had to guess at it. I had to mess around and guess at it to get it into English, because it does say that English is an option for the interface after all. So let me go ahead and show you this game, guys. This game is pretty cool. Let me go ahead and reload here so I have an option to play it. And this is, we're talking about really, this is my kind of game as far as like, I like these retro kind of games. Not a surprise there. But let's go ahead and score this one, guys, and play this one and show you what it is. Dot Fall is the name of this one. And again, if you type Dot Fall into the search on Steam, you're going to have to go about 3 pages in before you find this one. So here, the cool thing here, guys, is you can, right now it's showing a replay of my own play. It shows you that I'm 20th place. I scored 930 points. And it's showing whatever type of game you have selected here. That's a replay of me playing this last night when I got this game. It's showing a replay of what I did. And all it is guys, is you're jumping onto these platforms using WASD. Hey, thankfully this is a game that does have WASD support. It doesn't force you to use the arrow keys like the last game. So that's a good thing. But let's go ahead and show you how this game works. So in an endurance game, let's just go ahead and hit space. So all you do, you don't have to hit space to jump. You jump automatically. You just simply use the WASD keys to move around. You get more points the further you jump, it looks like. And then any kind of platform, when you land on a platform, any blocks connected to wherever you land is going to disappear. So you kind of got to plan ahead where you're going to jump. You can only jump so high. I don't see that there's any way that you can jump an extra, you can't do a double jump, or you can't jump a little bit harder to reach a certain platform or whatever. So it's kind of really important that you kind of look ahead and see where you want to jump. So like this 3 area, no matter where I land here, all 3 of those blocks are going to disappear. Like that one, the whole thing is going to disappear. And if you ever fall, like, see how everything kind of, if you land on a platform, it explodes, and I couldn't quite reach that block, so my game's over. I like that it says, basically 10 is how many platforms I landed on. It's going to allow you to land on up to 1,000 different platforms, so I can't see anybody lasting that long in this game. But I sat there and thought about this game. I was like, well, I mean, it's a super simple game, right? I'm like, why would anybody pay $10 for this game? But, I'm sure this game wasn't exactly easy to write. I mean, the code for and the blocks, plus there's certain, a lot of different options for this game. You can play locally with somebody else to see who can last longest. We can go back to the title. I like the fact that you can look at a replay anytime you want to of your game. And I like the fact that when I booted up the game, it shows me a replay right off the bat of the game I last played, whether it be last week or last month or whatever. It's going to show you your latest play. We're just like right now replaying my latest play. Sprint game, I don't exactly know what this is. I haven't done this yet, so let's go ahead. Oh yeah, I have done it. Okay, so 21st, 340 points. So I don't remember exactly what this is. Oops. Again, anytime you fall, you know, your game's over. Whether it be sprint or endurance or whatever. Yeah, that was good. I got 1 point. Great. Alright, let's try this again. Trying to figure out the difference between this mode and the endurance mode. Not sure. Maybe this one, I don't see a timer or anything, so it's not like you have a certain amount of time. But as you see, these blocks kind of come together. I think it's an ingenious design. I can honestly say I've never quite played a game like this. So for that, I mean, it's a very, very fucking cool. Maybe turn the sound effects down just a little bit. Let's go to the title screen here. See if we do have options for settings. Probably other. Yeah, settings. So right here, you can come in here and you can, with the mouse, you can control the volume. So that's cool. There we go. That's probably better. And then I guess if you want to change it, yeah, see, so this game allows you to change the key binding as well. And by default, it allows you to use WASD or the arrow keys and space to jump. So if I wanted to make jump, could I make jump be my M1? No, you can't. Okay. But I mean, these are pretty default controls, so I do like that. So let's go ahead and just hit escape, get out of that. And then return. And then you have your versus mode, and then you have your leaderboard, which is going to show you. So if I wanted to see either endurance or sprint, depending on what mode I did, against my friends or globally, I can kind of see where I rate. So you can see there that I am in 20th place right now with 930 points, and it shows my name. And then if I want to go up and see who's number one, it doesn't. I kind of wish that it would allow you to go all the way up and see who's number one or whatever, but it doesn't let you do that, I don't guess. Alright, but at least you see where you're at. Okay. But very cool game, guys. I think this game is pretty impressive. Like I said, I think it's a little bit more than, you know, you would probably expect to play. Road's here right now. Road 85 is here. Road, how much would you pay for a game like this, honestly? Like, if you've seen me play it, you kind of see what this game offers. Like, would you pay $10 for this game? I'm just saying. Alright, just a second, guys. Alright, guys, so Road says he would pay 99 cents for this game. I like that it's actually showing other, like, the players ahead of me game. That's pretty cool. I mean, there's some value in that, in the game actually showing you a complete replay of their game in the background. I think that's ultra cool. The game has some cool features. I mean, as far as these replays and stuff like that, it's a very unique game, and that's got to be worth something. But if I go into this endurance mode and I jump around with WASD, I love the music. The graphics really don't matter. I mean, you got shadows, you got you can turn the FPS off if you don't want to see it. But value on this game, just $10 is too high, man. For a game that doesn't offer you any more than just jumping, a platform jumper to try to score as many points as you can before you fall, it's just too simple to be asking $10 for. Regardless of the replays and the coolness of the game and everything like that. I mean, I like this game. I like the shit out of this game. I can't lie. But $10 is just too fucking much. $5 would be pushing it, I think. Road 85, this isn't really his kind of game at all. Even though I think if he had it, I think he would probably enjoy it. But I'm thinking more $2.99, $3.99, maybe $4.99 tops. $10 to give this game a good a value score. I mean, you're asking that somebody's going to play this game 10 hours. Based on my scoring, value's worth 40 points. To charge $10 for it is asking that your average player is going to play this game 10 hours over the next 6 months to a year. I don't see that happening. I can see this game being pretty addicting. But even at pretty addicting, I think most people play this game maybe an hour, maybe two. This game's tanking on the value score. It's just too damn much to ask for this game. As much as I like it, I'm going to give this game some coolness points and everything like that in my value score. Because normally I think I'd give this game about a 5 or a 10 out of 40 on value. I'm going to add the coolness factor as being able to watch the replays, being unique and all that. I'm going to add some coolness factor points in here and, replay value and stuff like that. But even there, guys, 15 points out of 40 is all I can give this game on value. It's just too much. I think I'm being generous on my value score at 15 out of 40 for this game. $10. I would suggest repricing this game at under $5 U.S. currency. Next criteria, guys, is fun. It's worth 30 points. This is going to be the more subjective part of my scoring, and this is probably going to be where this game is going to score best, with me. But 40 out of 30 points, guys, I think this game is pretty fucking fun, and I think the originality definitely helps it because, I haven't exactly played a game like this. It can be frustrating when you go to a platform like I just did and you don't really have anywhere to jump, but, it means that I really wasn't planning ahead as well either, and it kind of has that addictive quality where I want to try it again and be like, all right, let's take a different path this next time. Fun, guys, for a simple little game where all you're doing is moving a ball around, you don't have to jump because you jump automatically. You're just trying to stay alive as long as you can, score as many points as far as you can. I think the game's pretty fun. I'm going to give this game a 24 out of 30. I think it's pretty cool there. So we have 24 out of 30 points there on the fun factor, and again, that's the more subjective part of my scoring. My 24 might be your 10 out of 30. Next criteria is controls and bugs. I can't find any kind of bugs in this game that I can speak of. The game, it's very fluid. It's very responsive on your pressing the WASD keys. I like that. I mean, it's pretty fun. I think the better you get at it, the more addicting it's probably going to get as well. But the controls and bugs are absolutely perfect, for this type of a game. I love them. 20 out of 20, I can't take any points away there. And graphics and sound, the sound effects, just like the last game I scored, the sound effects, the old retro sounds basically helped tank that score for this type of a game. All right, Road, we'll see you later. For this type of a game, I think this game is, pretty amazing for graphics and sound. I like the shadows. I like the simplicity of the design. And I love the background music. It fits the game mood perfectly. For this type of game, I think this game is perfect on graphics and sound. I really like it. I like the fun. I like everything about it. For the type of game that it is, obviously you can't compare this game to a 3D shooter or something like that. For the type of game that it is, I think this game, I have no complaints whatsoever. Love the sound effects. It's going to help this game get a 10 out of 10 in that area. So if we add that all up, guys, 15 for value. We add in 24 for, fun. That's 34. We add in 20 for 20 for controls and bugs, and then 10 for graphics and sound. We still wind up with a 64% for dot fall, and mainly it's hurt by value. if you guys, if the developer would reprice this down to like $2.99 or $1.99, the value would be a 40 out of 40. You add 25 points to my current 64, you wind up with an 89%. So get this game priced appropriately for, you know, the kind of game that it is. I can't imagine hardly anybody buying this game at $10. It's a cool little game, but you've got it priced way too high, and I know you probably spent a lot of time making this game, but it's just priced too high. 64% is my score, and that score is so low mainly because the game is just priced way too high. If it gets the game under $5, especially if it gets under $3, I could see this game getting a lot higher score. It'd be up in the 80s, and if it gets that 40 out of 40 value by pricing it like under $3, then I'd say it needs to be under $3 to get a 40 out of 40 from me. You're at a 9 out of 10 basically. Instead, you got a 6.5 out of 10 instead of a 9 out of 10. So that is my score for Dotfall. Super fun little game. The most disappointing part of this game is that it's just priced way too high, at least 3 times higher than it needs to be priced, or than it should be priced. But let me know what you guys think. This has been Zaxtor99, and I do want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, guys, because I need to get ready and eat and get my son some food and stuff like that. But I'll be back later tonight with some more gameplay. So there's 2 scores on Dotfall and Space Base, a couple of games that came out in the last couple of days. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.